Lord, would have done the worst shit if we're together.
We sincerely apologize for delaying the news. Welcome to the Camnet TV main news. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. The headlines. The DPP insists on President HH suspending her oath of secrecy. Local government minister warns UPND cadres exploiting mobile money agents. The PF vows to offer solidarity to ESTER LUNGU, defying police boss directive. And in international news, protesters storm UN base in eastern DR Congo. And in sports, CHIPOLOPOLO challenge to beat Mozambique in CHAN games. Details coming through after this commercial.
On Monday, 25th July 2022, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts the FTD President, Madam Edith Nawakwe.
So, someone must stand up for justice. Someone must stand up for justice. And if Edith Nawakwe is seeing that she's standing up for a poor family, so be it.
I'm your pastor and of course host.
As they discuss empowering Zambian nationals.
Invite others to participate through phoning, on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages.
On DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98 and Topstar channel 106.
Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
And now the main news in detail. The Director of Public Prosecution, Lillian Siyuni, insists President Hakainde Hichilema should waive off the oath of secrecy so she can defend herself on what she is being accused of. She says her hands are tied unless the Republican President Hakainde Hichilema waives off the oath of secrecy for her to defend herself. Ms. Siyuni appeared before the Judicial Complaints Commission Monday morning following various complaints lodged against her by different people over her alleged conduct, which she terms to be gross misconduct.
It was hard for the Director of Public Prosecution, Lillian Siyuni, to leave the court premises shortly after she appeared before the Judicial Complaint Commission for fear of being filmed by the media. Ms. Siyuni, who left the premises with the help of the officer while hiding behind her assistant, says her hands are tied unless the Republican President Hakainde Hichilema waives off the oath of secrecy. She was before the JCC Monday morning following various complaints lodged against her by different people over her alleged conduct, which some term to be gross misconduct. The DPP is being represented by former Solicitor General Abraham Wansa after her application that she must be represented by the Attorney General failed. Among those lodged a complaint against her is musician and activist Chama Fumba, popularly known as Pilato, who cites incompetence and gross misconduct. He alleges that her action to discharge former Konkola Copper Mines provisional liquidator Milingo Lungu. In the case, he was accused of stealing 4.4 million kwacha from KCM was done without consulting the Drug Enforcement Commission, further alleging that she is bent on protecting Mr. Lungu, which shows criminal motives and lack of proper judgment, hence calling for her removal. while the complaint lodged by Movement for Multi-Party Democracy is in relation to the manner she handled the MMD motor vehicle case, as they allege that there was a serious misconduct by the DPP. They state that after the 2021 general elections, the PF administration impounded all the MMD vehicles and took almost 4 years for the DPP to authorize the police to release the vehicles to MMD. However, before the exercise concluded, a group of expelled and suspended members of the MMD headed by Mr. Felix Mutati and Raphael Nakachinda organized an alleged convention in 2016 supported by the late former head of state, Rupiah Banda. When the matter came up this morning after hearing all the complaints lodged against her, the JCC adjourned the case to a date to be communicated to the parties. Miriam Kaimba reporting for Camnet TV News.
Opposition Patriotic Front Chairperson for Information and Publicity, Raphael Nakachinda, has accused the United Party for National Development of being a brutal and violent political party fond of acting contrary to what it preaches. Speaking shortly after his court appearance in a case he is accused of defaming the president, Mr. Nakachinda says, despite being a brutal political party, the UPND administration has demonstrated the effects of such acts through its style of governance. Earlier, Lusaka Magistrate Jennifer Walia set Mr. Nakachinda's case back for reallocation following her transfer to another district.
As he continues to offer his checks and balance to the current administration, outspoken opposition Patriotic Front Information and Publicity Chairperson Raphael Nakachinda says the United Party for National Development Administration is acting contrary to what it spoke of. Mr. Nakachinda, who made these comments shortly after his court appearance Monday morning, wondered why the current administration is acting differently to what it preached about.
The UPND, it is a brutal and violent political party, and it is definitely a brutal and violent, government. They have been pretending. They say one thing to the media and do another, privately. We have had people who have been brutalized by UPND cadres, supported sometimes by law enforcement officers or agents, whether it's the police and so on, some of which we have reported to the police.
Meanwhile, Mr. Nakachinda is currently facing one count of defamation of the president before the Lusaka's Magistrate Court, says he hopes the Constitutional Court issues he raised earlier can be heard.
To appear before another court, to which the constitutional issues that we raised, we hope they can be addressed and have the record moved to the Constitutional Court so that we can be heard from them. But I think that is a cause of justice to which we are confident that the sacred decision called the judiciary will be able to dispense justice at the end of this matter.
Earlier, his alleged defamation case received an early adjournment after the Lusaka's Magistrate Court, in conduct of the matter, Jennifer Walia sent it back for reallocation to the Chief Resident Magistrate, Magistrate Walia, who was presiding over the case and heard a testimony from one witness, cannot proceed to hear the case as she is among the list of the magistrates that have been transferred to other districts. In this case, it is alleged that Mr. Nakachinda, on the 13th of December 2021, while he was at the High Court premises, he alleged that Republican President Hakainde Hichilema was summoning judges at his private residence, intimidating and coercing them to frustrate PF legal battles. The matter has been adjourned to tomorrow, the 26th of July 2022. Miriam Kaimba reporting for Camnet TV News.
Meanwhile, Patriotic Front Media Director Antonio Mwanza has urged all well-meaning Zambians who want to offer solidarity to the former First Lady and her family to freely do so on Tuesday. In an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Mwanza says they are not going to Drug Enforcement Commission to interfere with the Commission's work but offer support to their mother. Meanwhile, Governance Election Advocacy Research Service Director McDonough Chipenzi says the law is very clear on gathering, and those that want to gather must inform the police 7 days before, just as it is stipulated in the law.
1st July 2022, the Drug Enforcement Commission stated that they had taken possession of 15 flats in New Kasama area of Lusaka, believed to be owned by an unknown person named Esther Nyawatembo, and the commission was yet to establish who the named person was. After information circulating on social media, it was established that Esther Nyawatembo was actually former First Lady Esther Lungu. 7th July, the Drug Enforcement Commission called on Mrs. Lungu to present herself to the commission for an interview, of which her lawyers made it known that the set date was not convenient for their client and proposed that the interview be held on the 12th of July, which was also not convenient for the Drug Enforcement Commission as the country was hosting the African Union Media Meeting, and set Tuesday 26th July 2022 as the date for former First Lady Esther Nyawatembo to appear before the Drug Enforcement Commission. Members of the Patriotic Front have openly stated that they will be at the DEC premises to show solidarity to their mother and have urged all willing Zambians to join them. Speaking to Camnet News, Patriotic Front Media Director Antonio Mwanza says they are not going to DEC to disrupt the work of the Commission, but to show solidarity, and that they are ready to face the police if stopped.
Just to assure her that our job is not to intimidate the Drug Enforcement Commission. Our job is not to disrupt the works of the Drug Enforcement Commission. We are not going there to intimidate them. We are not going there to disrupt their works. We are going there to show solidarity to the former First Lady. That's what we are going there for. So we are not going there to disrupt the works of the Anti-Corruption Commission or Drug Enforcement Commission. We are not going there to intimidate anybody. We are simply going there to show solidarity to our mother. The Permanent Secretary has warned that he will arrest people. As PF, we want to tell the Permanent Secretary that we are more than ready to be arrested tomorrow, because we are not going there to break any law. We are going there to show solidarity, and that's within our constitutional right.
But Inspector General of Police Lemi Kajoba, in his statement issued Monday 25th July 2022, has warned members of the public that are calling for the unlawful assembly at the Drug Enforcement Commission following the summoning of former First Lady Madam Esther Lungu not to assemble.
The Zambia Police Service would like to sternly warn members of the public that are calling for the unlawful assembly at a Drug Enforcement Commission following the summoning of the former First Lady, Madam Esther Lungu, tomorrow, 26th July 2022. As Zambia Police Service, we have mobilized enough manpower to deal with those wanting to break the law with impunity.
Meanwhile, Governance for Elections Advocacy Research Service GEA's Director McDonald Chipenzi says the law is very clear on gathering, and that those that want to gather must inform the police 7 days before, just as stipulated in the law.
Very clear on issues of gathering. The Public Order Act is very clear. Those who want to gather, they have to inform the police 7 days before the event. So if they have not informed the police, then that becomes an illegal assembly by law, as it is today.
Cherish Siwote for Camnet News in Lusaka.
Mutsanzala area member of parliament in Lusangazi district, Eastern Province, Elias Daka, is delighted that works on a 300 kilometers stretch of the Petauke-Mutsanzala via Nyimba Road have commenced at a cost of 180 million kwacha. The road, which is being put under the World Bank, links three chiefdoms, Chief Kalandawalo, Chief Nyampande, and Chieftainess Mwape, is expected to be completed in December 2022. The lawmaker says all well-weather gravel road will also be a maintenance for a period of 3 years to ensure its durability. And the residents spoken to say the road will help them take their crops to the markets easily once it is completed. Meanwhile, Petauke District Commissioner Martha Mlenga says government is in course to make sure that what it promised the people, it delivers to them.
Msanzala, a rural constituency based in Eastern Province with at least over 80% of its population surviving on farming, with that a good road network poses as a great relief that enhances their agricultural activities, which is their main economic activity. To date, most farmers have had challenges on taking their crops to the market due to a bad road network, which sometimes is cut off due to floods when it rains. However, this sad reality is beginning to lose shape as a good road network known as all-weather gravel is being put up with the help from the World Bank at a cost of 180 million kwacha. The stretch of about 300 kilometers will connect 3 traditional leaders. This came to light when Msanzala Area Member of Parliament Elias Tanka visited the area to appreciate the works being done so far.
Link 2 districts, that is Nyimba, Musangazi and Petauke. And as you have seen, they have done the roadbed, meaning now what is remaining is to put on gravel so that it is all-weather road now. But so far, they have done all the 300 kilometers, that is from Nyimba up to Petauke. So the amount from the contractor, they have told me it's about 180 roads. It has stayed years without being worked on, but now it is done, and you can see people are happy now that the road is in good shape. Although it is not yet complete, but at least it's passable, yes, than how it used to be. It will help like in terms of movement of crops, because this is an agriculture belt. Our people literally depend on agriculture, and it will help them in terms of selling their crops to market. It will be easy for them than the way it used to be. Even the cost, I think it will be okay for our people, because the road, even the pricing is also good.
Road depends on konzewa. Kwenze matransporti yenze yodula. Vanhu kwenda usiku kwenye mfaka kufudu wedo kubunga moto hawa.
The lawmaker was in the company of Petauke District Commissioner, who also reaffirmed government's commitment of uplifting the living standards of the people holistically.
Really is being done as we promised as New Dawn government when we were getting into power. And when we were doing our campaign messages, we were saying when President Hakainde Hichilema gets into office, the first things we are going to look at are the schools, the roads. And this is a very good example that the Petauke Msanzala Nyimba Road, which has 3 chiefs in it, Senior Chief Kalindawalo, Chief Nyampande and Chief Mwape. The road is being worked on. So that shows that the policies of UPND are being implemented. The promises we were doing to the people as we were doing our campaign is being taken care of.
Sharon Kalimbula, Camnet News.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church Ibex Hill Mission District has advised the citizenry to show love even to the dead by giving them a decent send-off. Speaking at the Chingwere Cemetery in Lusaka, where the SDA Church, working in partnership with the Lusaka City Council, buried more than 25 unclaimed bodies, District Pastor Nalitumwa Maulu said the overwhelming number of unclaimed bodies prompted the church to bury more than one person in some caskets. Meanwhile, Lusaka City Council has clarified that only 25 bodies were buried as per request by the Ministry of Health, and has thanked the SDA Church for always raising to the task of performing noble burials of unclaimed bodies.
Sunday, 25th July 2022, the Seventh-day Adventist Church Ibex Hill Mission District buried over 25 male unclaimed bodies at the Chingwere Cemetery in Matera constituency of Lusaka. The exercise was done in partnership with the Lusaka City Council and was in accordance with the laws of Zambia. And speaking to the media at the burial site, District Pastor Nalitumwa Maulu explained that the bodies that were buried were more than 25 and that some caskets contained more than one body.
There are more than 25 unclaimed bodies that Ibex Mission District, spearheaded by the Dorcas mothers in our district, have decided to do. Because some of the coffins, bodies were placed, others 3, others 2. So there are more than 25 coffins so far.
Pastor Maulu adds that what prompted the church to come on board and bury the unclaimed bodies was due to the love they have to do community service for the people.
As you know, Dorcas mothers are there to do community service for God. So for those unclaimed bodies, you know, a human being is not something simple. So they have decided to do this solemn activity.
And Ibex Mission District President Enes Chola and Amor District President Delian Mainza says the charity works that they do is based on helping the poor in society and says love should be shared even in death.
Actually, these people who died a long time ago, they were not claimed. They are all our brothers, our sisters, our uncles. Yes, so we're supposed to do this to show love, even in death.
And it's those on the left, they asked him, when did we do these things for you? I was in prison, you visited me. I was jailed, you attended to me. I was in need, you gave me food. And that's what the AMO organization is based on the community service, to help the poor in the society.
Meanwhile, the Lusaka City Council Public Relations Officer Kamainda Mukwele says 25 unclaimed bodies were buried as per notice by the Ministry of Health and says the authority is humbled by the works of the SDA Church, who always rise to the task of performing noble burials of unclaimed bodies, and is hopeful that other organizations will emulate the candid works of the Church. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Local Government and Rural Development Minister Gary Nkombo has cautioned people purporting to be United Party for National Development cadres extorting money from mobile money agents to stop. The minister has warned that lawlessness cannot be allowed to thrive under the United Party for National Development administration. Mr. Nkombo says the issue of mobile money operators is a non-political issue, thus urging the opposition Patriotic Front to desist from issuing the issue to gain political mileage. He made remarks when he toured the various money events location to ascertain ideal areas for mobile money services.
Mobile money services have not only created convenience for receiving and sending money, but jobs for many Zambians. Earlier this month, the government demolished mobile money booths in a quest to ensure orderliness and sanity in the central business district of Lusaka, a development that angered many stakeholders. And now most of them are trading in open spaces, but safety concerns have emerged. Meanwhile, some people purporting to be United Party for National Development UPND cadres took it upon themselves to start reallocating trading spaces to mobile money agents on condition that they pay between 3,000 and 5,000 kwacha. It was a sigh of relief to many as Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Gary Nkombo toured various locations for mobile money agents where people disclosed that some UPND cadres have been terrorizing them.
You can't have 50 people here. You can't.
And the people follow you.
Yes, they'll be following us.
That, no, that person has a lot of money.
Yes.
You have been given a lot of
so
money.
So we are safe if we are in our booth. That's when we can be safe. Not like this. We are not even safe.
But the suspected cadres ran away upon realizing that they could find themselves in a predicament of Waema, another UPND cadre at Intercity Bus Terminus who was involved in similar activities. But this prompted the minister to clamp down the vehicles of the said cadres. The minister later addressed mobile money agents and traders that acts of impunity do not have the blessings of the UPND administration.
Manje nadabwa kupeza kuno ati kuli ba beni ngati ba mamichelo ba boy ti bamene bavuta abantu pano. So napera kuti ndiye bene bawa motoka iyi. Ati bali please 3 pin booth mu zina ya UPND. Kamba ati bakusogolo ndiye bati tu. Manje ndine ali kusogolo. Ndifuna muziwe kuti kulibe muntu ameti natuma zaswa inabwera pano. So imotoka tizai klampa na kili ya klampa zaenda office kwanga azanipeza beni waminoyo ngati ngapi ngati michelo kuti timberani pame munali kuvota chikulu chame munali kuvotera ni mtendere oti povutana po yofyanya monga mamene finali likudala so nifuna imwe na ife tigwirizane pankani ya mtendere first then ivinangu pame vibwela kukumbuyo tizavikonza pamozi.
He further assured that mobile money booths that have been installed by cadres will be removed, adding that alternative trading places will be provided.
It's not a political matter, no. The booth operators were invited by the president of PF, Mr. Given, to take action against rearranging the booth business. That was extremely responsible for Mr. Given because when he was in government, he had to change things in order.
We also spoke to an association that represent mobile money agents.
If we are to flush out the influence of cadreism and political elements, we need to come together. So this is why we are glad that the ministers recognized our efforts to organize. So as far as we are concerned, all the issues we are seeing on the ground, we are reporting to the minister.
One only hopes lawlessness being peddled by people claiming to be UPND cadres will be addressed. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
Republican President Hakainde Hichilema is saddened by what he terms as poor service delivery for most institutions and poor expenditure patterns. Speaking when he addressed heads of quasi-government institutions and statutory bodies Monday morning under the theme Working Together Towards a Common Purpose, President Hichilema highlighted that the underperformance of most government institutions does not add value to the people. The country's #1 citizen observes that there is too much exorbitant expenditure in the quasi-government institutions, which, if avoided, would result in creation of quality unemployment and service resources. President Hichilema has therefore called on heads of quasi-government institutions and statutory bodies to focus on valuable expenditures that promote job creation and improving the lives of citizens.
Various heads of quasi-government institutions and statutory bodies Monday 25th July 2022 trooped to the Mulungushi International Conference Center Kenneth Kaunda Wing for a meeting which saw Republican President Hakainde Hichilema officiate. The head of state challenged quasi-government institutions to provide valuable expenditure which culminates in job creation and improving the lives of citizens. Speaking at the meeting, Zambia's #1 citizen registered his disappointment on excessive spending by quasi-government institutions. The head of state has raised red flags over the trend and challenged the institutions to concentrate on adding value to their activities which reflect in the livelihood of the citizens.
Corolla, twin cam, deep blue. Some of you who have been friends for a long time, you remember that car. Toyota Corolla. But today, you appointed PS, the very day you are saying, where is my VX? Icona, man. Icona. How does the VX help you to create that extra job on the first day in the office? You even look gloomy when the VX is not parked in the car park. On your first day of being appointed as PS. That's today's conversation.
While emphasizing on the exorbitant expenditure in quasi-government institutions, the head of state challenged public officers in Northern Province to improve the state of Mpulungu Harbour in order to provide a facelift to the country's economic growth.
Our actions every day can change the people of Mpulungu. Your action, Minister, Northern Province, can change the lives of the people of Mpulungu. Just think deeply, and you know which part of the life can change there. I've been to Mpulungu for years. I go to Mpulungu there. Mpulungu Harbour area has not changed. Who is in charge of Mpulungu? Which parastatal? You are here, sir. What change have you delivered in Mpulungu there? It's getting worse. Now Tanzania is building a port on that Lake Tanganyika, competing with us when we were there ahead of...
Meanwhile, Felix Mutati and Douglas Yakalima have an assignment which must meet President Hichilema and the education demand.
Where is the disjoint? It is you seated here. It's us here. The president is excluded. I'm not exonerated. I'm part of you. You are part of me. Me for you and you for me. We are one. That's the importance of today. Get the desks in the classroom. After this meeting, we want the PS education to meet the PS technology, to meet the PS SMEs, to meet the PS...
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News in Lusaka.
You're watching Camnet TV Main News. We take our first set of commercials. We'll be back with more after this.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
On Monday, 25th July 2022, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts the FTD President, Madam Edith Nawakwe.
So, someone must stand up for justice. Someone must stand up for justice. And if Edith Nawakwe is seeing that she's standing up for a poor family, so be it.
I'm your pastor and, of course, host.
As they discuss empowering Zambian nationals.
Invite others to participate through phoning, on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages.
On DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98 and Topstar channel 106.
Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel. The Agriculture and Commercial Show is back, bigger and better under the theme Innovation Through Technology. And we are here to transform your business through our technology. Advertise with us on discounted rates during the month of July and during the Agriculture and Commercial Show. Special price package for live stunt interviews, on-screen product placement during the coverage of the show. For more details, call the following numbers. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. We continue with the rest of the main news. The Engineering Institution of Zambia, EIZ, has suspended the membership of 2 engineering consulting firms for alleged professional misconduct. EIZ President Engineer Abel Ngandu told a press conference that the 2 companies are BCHOD Consulting Engineering and BICON Engineering Zambia. He says this is in connection with substandard works in connection to the Society House works and the construction of the Ndola Mukambo Mufulira Road respectively. Engineering Ngandu says the 2 cases have been referred to the disciplinary committee.
Conducted a technical audit and the consultant was found wanting in areas of quality control and certification of works which did not meet design specifications. The EIZ has since referred the matter to the disciplinary committee in a bid to protect the public interest. So we are reporting this matter to the DC as council so that it can be determined at the DC. So what I'm presenting here actually are findings of our technical audit, so just to clarify. I'll come to the second point. Ndola Mukambo Mufurira Road. At the request of the Joint Investigations Team, EIZ was invited to review the Ndola Mufurira Mukambo Road. Similarly, in the interest of the general public, the technical committee constituted a team of experts to review the technical audit report of works that were conducted so far. The technical audit report revealed a lot of irregularities of great concern to the profession. The EIZ has since referred the matter to the disciplinary committee in a bid to protect public interest. Due to the gravity of the matter, EIZ has suspended their membership as governed by the EIZ statutes. Further, EIZ would like to urge its members to strictly follow the Code of Conduct and provisions of the EIZ Act number 17 of 2010. Have been suspended is BCHOD, Consulting Engineering, and also Bicon Zambia.
Over 1,000 businesses are expected to participate in this year's agricultural and commercial show after 2 years of not hosting due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking during a press briefing Monday, the Agricultural and Commercial Cooperative Society of Zambia President Duncan Mfula says the organization has received an overwhelming response from exhibitors, with over 20 foreign countries and international visitors expected to participate. Mr. Mfula says majority of the exhibitors are small and medium enterprises, SMEs accounting for the 50% participation. Mr. Mfula has further expressed confidence in the subsequent stakeholders dialogue with over 2,400 delegates from government, private sectors, among others, saying it will increase stakeholders' participation and investments.
The Agricultural and Commercial Show will be hosted for the first time since the outbreak of the novel coronavirus pandemic, which saw some social events like this one as a super spreader. This year, July 27th, will be the first agricultural show hosted in 2 years and has so far seen an overwhelming response from exhibitors, with over 100,000 expected to participate. And speaking to journalists in Lusaka Monday morning, the Agricultural and Commercial Cooperative Society of Zambia President Duncan Mfula says this year's show has seen an increase in small and medium enterprises participating, attracting over 55% participation from the total number of exhibitors expected.
Chinese pavilion and outdoor space on the ground is expected to attract over 1,000 floor users as exhibitors. Crop display by producers will be on display at the demonstration plots. Small ruminants and fat stock will be on display in the livestock section. Are expected to benefit from the inclusion of new judging categories in the commercial, agriculture, and media sector. May I also make mention that the majority of exhibitors are SMEs, who will account for 55% participation, mostly in the outdoor spaces.
He adds that the Agricultural and Commercial Show has over 20 foreign countries and international visitors who are expected to participate. Among them include Iran, Malawi, Kenya, South Africa, Mozambique, Uganda, Egypt, and China, among others. And speaking during the briefing, Mr. Mfula has further highlighted the benefits that the show will bring, saying it will increase stakeholder participation and investments.
This will encourage and increase multi-stakeholder dialogue, linkages on the value chain development and broad-based economic development. Approximately 2,400 delegates representing government, private sector, diplomat and civil society are expected to participate in the business luncheons.
The 94th Agricultural and Commercial Show is expected to take place on the 27th of July this year under the theme Innovation Through Technology. Messi Chanika reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo says the declaration of monkeypox as an international emergency by the World Health Organization on Saturday, 23rd July 2022 serves as a call to action for a coordinated international response in curbing the disease. Ms. Masebo observes that in order to stem the spread of the disease, there is need to unlock funds and enhance global efforts on sharing vaccines and treatments. She has, however, disclosed that the country has not recorded any monkeypox cases and maintained that surveillance against the disease has been heightened. Ms. Masebo further warns that despite previous researches showing that the disease is spread to people from uninfected wild animals, this new outbreak is, however, spreading rapidly from person to person. Currently, over 16,000 cases of monkeypox have been reported from over 70 countries.
The majority of reported cases remain in the European region, whereas on the African continent, Nigeria and the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, have recorded the highest number of cases. As a country, Zambia, we have not recorded any cases to date, but we are taking the threat of this outbreak seriously, more so given our long and porous border with DRC. Our surveillance and rapid response teams remain on high alert.
In other news, Kalunga Gawa Undi, the king of the Chewa people of Zambia, Malawi and Mozambique, has invited President Hakainde Hichilema to this year's Kalumba traditional ceremony. This year's Kalumba ceremony will take place on the 27th of August 2022 at Mkaika in Katete. Confirming the development, Chewa Foundation National Secretary Ruben Kamanga stated that the organizing committee expects high-level representation at this year's ceremony from the three countries. Meanwhile, Kamanga has disclosed that preparation for this year's ceremony are progressing well. He stated that in order to raise funds for the ceremony, the organizing committee will hold a fundraising dinner at the government complex in Lusaka on the 29th of July 2022. He has therefore appealed to the business community to come on board and support the organizing committee in raising funds needed to organize the ceremony. Mr. Kamanga has thanked all companies that have so far come on board to support the committee in organizing the ceremony.
Well, we are very pleased that His Majesty Kalunga Gawa Undi, by the Chewa people of Zambia, Malawi and Mozambique, has invited the President of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema, to this year's Kulamba traditional ceremony of the Chewa people. As you are aware, this year's Kulamba traditional ceremony of the Chewa people take place on the 27th of August this year, which is next month at Mkaika in Katete. And so we are very, very pleased that an invitation has been extended to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, to be the guest of honor at this year's ceremony. We also expect high-level representation from Mozambique as well as Malawi at this year's ceremony. In trying to raise funds for this ceremony, the organizing committee is holding a fundraising dinner in Lusaka.
International and sports news coming through right after this break.
Your skin is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum products for that perfect skin.
On Monday, 25th July 2022, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts the FTD President, Madam Edith Nawakwe.
So, someone must stand up for justice. Someone must stand up for justice. And if Edith Nawaku is seeing that she's standing up for a poor family, so be it.
I'm your pastor and of course host.
As they discuss empowering Zambian nationals.
Invite others to participate through phoning, on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages.
On DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98 and Topstar channel 106.
Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel. The Agriculture and Commercial Show is back, bigger and better under the theme Innovation Through Technology. And as Camnet TV, we are here to transform your business through our technology. Advertise with us on discounted rates during the month of July and during the Agriculture and Commercial Show. Special price package for live stunt interviews, on-screen product placement during the coverage of the show. For more details, call the following numbers. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. Now getting into our international item. Protesters stormed a United Nations base in the eastern Congolese city of Goma on Monday, demanding the departure of peacekeepers from the region. Hundreds of people blocked roads and chanted anti-UN slogans before storming the headquarters of the UN peacekeeping mission in Goma, as well as logistical base on the outskirts of the city. The protesters smashed windows and looted computers, furniture and other valuables from the headquarters. The UN peacekeeping mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, MONUSCO, has come under regular local criticism for its perceived inability to stop fighting in the conflict-torn east. Over 120 armed groups roam the volatile region where conflict has displaced millions of people.
Protesters stormed a United Nations base in the eastern Congolese city of Goma on Monday, demanding the departure of peacekeepers from the region. Hundreds of people blocked roads and chanted anti-UN slogans before storming the headquarters of the UN peacekeeping mission in Goma, as well as a logistic base on the outskirts of the city. The protesters smashed windows and looted computers, furniture and other valuables from the headquarters. UN police officers fired tear gas in a bid to push back the protesters. The UN peacekeeping mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, MONUSCO, has come under regular local criticism for its perceived inability to stop fighting in the conflict-torn east. Over 120 armed groups roam the volatile region where conflict has displaced millions of people and civilian massacres are common. The latest protests come after the president of the Congolese Senate, Modest Bahati, told supporters in Goma on July 15 that MONUSCO should pack its bags.
The president of Guinea-Bissau and current chairman of ECOWAS, Umaro Sissoko Embalo, visited Ouagadougou on Sunday to discuss the time frame for the transition to civilian rule in the country. The major aspects and axes that we believe are important for the transitional government to focus on are the security challenge, humanitarian issues, the return to constitutional order, and the mobilization of resources, and the establishment of a monitoring and evaluation mechanism, including the ECOWAS mediator, the African Union, and the UN representatives in Ouagadougou. We also congratulate the government on the progress we've seen on the ground, and I think that all of us must mobilize alongside our brothers and sisters in Burkina Faso. Since 2015, like its neighbors Niger and Mali, Burkina Faso has been caught up in a spiral of violence attributed to armed jihadist movements.
Tunisians have begun voting Monday on whether to accept a new constitution put forward by President Kais Saied. The result of the referendum will determine whether Tunisia changes from a hybrid parliamentary system or a presidential one. Voting runs till 10 p.m. local time at some 11,000 polling stations across the North African country. Around 9.3 million out of Tunisia's 12 million people have opted in or been automatically registered to vote according to the Electoral Commission. The referendum comes a year to the day after side sacked the government and froze parliament in a dramatic paragraph as Tunisia grappled with a surge in coronavirus cases on top of political and economic crisis. Side has been criticized by his opponent for what they say has amounted to a coup and an attempt to bring about a return to one-man rule. Side says these changes have been necessary to rein in a corrupt political elite.
We now get into sports news. Lusaka's Kabanana Cycling Club says young people in Zambia should embrace the sport of cycling as it can take them to greater heights. In an interview with Camnet Sports, Noah Katillo notes that young people, especially women, must have interest in the sport as it attaches great opportunities. Katillo adds that through the sport of cycling, the young can avoid illicit activities that would endanger their lives.
Cyclesport is competitive physical activity using bicycles. There are several categories of bicycle racing, including road bicycle racing, cyclocross, mountain bike racing, and track cycling, amongst others. Cycling is the use of a bicycle for sport, recreational or transportation. The sport of cycling consists of professional and amateur races, which are held mostly in continental events. To this regard, Lusaka's Kabanana Cycling Club has encouraged young people in the country to embrace the sport of cycling.
For the young people, it's encouraging. It really helps those in bad situations, bad conditions, like doing drugs. It keeps them busy. Like in this position, we are very tired and we can't have that time to go and do drugs. We just have to get home and relax. On top of that, this also encourages other people to get to know each other. We get to know more people using this same sport.
They say through sports such as cycling, a lot of young people can avoid indulging in illicit activities such as alcohol abuse. Noah Katillo reveals that it has proven challenging to engage women in this kind of sport. Some interviewed have outlined some challenges they are facing in the participation of cycling sport.
Cyclists are good and strong. Nongu kaza lwo sangachove mjinga ngankali strong sadwala dwala funa cheba mbiri bakazi te amene bali bevochita biso chova njinga bangati join.
As you can see, each one of us has its own jersey, but if we can be well organized and someone can come in just to help us with sponsorship, just a little can do. Because other clubs, they have personal jerseys whereby you can allocate to say, oh no, that's this club and the other club. You're able to see through the jersey. So if anyone can willing to help us, just with any simple contribution, then we can really appreciate, because we want to take this sport to another level.
Blessings Chakwila, Camnet Sports, Lusaka.
In another sports item, a sports analyst, Gezani Mbewe, says the Zambia national football team should beat Mozambique in the return CHAN match this coming Saturday. In an interview with Camnet Sports, the CHIPOLOPOLO should not relax with the goalless draw against Mozambique as they need to complete a return game at the National Heroes Stadium. Mbewe states that there is need for the CHIPOLOPOLO to give good results ahead of the match. He has also urged soccer fans in the country to turn up in numbers and support the boys. The CHIPOLOPOLO moved straight from the Council of Southern Africa Football Association to CHAN duty seamlessly and did not have time to celebrate their COSAFA coronation and moved to Mozambique, where they drew 0-0 away in Maputo in the first leg of on the 24th of July 2022.
It's a very, very important tournament that we'll be looking at. It's the 7th edition of CHAN Championship that will take place in Algeria. And we'll be looking forward for that. Like you know that Zambia, they have not performed very well. The best that we've had before is 2009 when we finished the third, when we managed to beat Senegal in the third and fourth position. So it's a challenge to all the teams, not only for Zambia, because if you look at the statistic, COSAFA teams in COSAFA region, I think have not performed very, very well, and we are looking forward for that, so that at least a team from Southern Africa should bang this CHAN. All of us, we know that when we started, it was a small tournament. We had 8 teams, which was hosted in Ivory Coast, but now we are 16 teams. So I think, in my opinion, it's time that Southern African teams should step up and make sure that they can win this tournament, because it's very, very important.
That sports item brings us to the end of Camnet TV main news, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. The DPP insists on President HH suspending her oath of secrecy. Local government minister warns UPND cadres exploiting mobile money agents. The PF vows to offer solidarity to ESTER LUNGU, defying police force directive. And in international news, protesters storm UN base in eastern DR Congo. And in sports, CHIPOLOPOLO challenged to beat Mozambique in CHAN games. Before we go, our Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of Psalm 119, verse 60, and it reads, I will hasten and not delay to obey your commands. Thank you for watching. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Pleasant viewing.